Welcome to a Corporate Tom with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
We've got a big merch sale going on this weekend for Black Friday weekend.
The
I've been
biggest merch sale.
talking to Eric all morning, and we're gonna that biggest discount code is gonna be for BDMs.
Okay.
So if you're a BDM, check the BDM page. We'll probably, we'll put it out on tech service, and it'll be a code for 25% off your entire purchase.
All right.
But anybody who orders over this weekend, Eric's going to throw in a gift bag from the Beer Fest.
Yeah, it's got coupons, free stuff in there, all kinds of fun stuff.
Tom and Dan sunglasses and all the stuff we gave away at the Beer Fest. We're going to put them in there until supplies last.
There you go.
Until we run out. But we got, I think, a couple hundred left, so it'll be a lot.
Nice. And again, there will be a promo code for BDMs. If you're not a BDM, you can sign up at tomanddan.com/registration.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of stuff on our merch page besides like T-shirts. We've got the Scylla pints and a button, like even
tumblers. We got the sand beverage holder, cooling towels, hats.
Yeah.
I forgot
Pepper spray.
all the different stuff.
Rolling trays, grinders.
Oh, yeah.
We hit all, I mean, just in rolling trays and pepper spray, we're hitting, the lowest of low, I feel like, right? Isn't that like scraping the bottom of the barrel?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing says Deltona like rolling trays and some pepper spray.
We're swimming in headbands.
Yeah.
Because Tom gave up on the headbands after you made fun of them, so now nobody's buying them.
I know, that was my fault.
That was your fault.
And he blamed me. He's like, you did this, and he's right. I did. I bullied you to stop
I'm trying
wearing.
to bully him out of these dusty sneakers.
Yeah,
but
you
he's
gotta
still rocking
okay,
those.
can we go back and start wearing the headbands again? But then you have to wear the sneakers that Sam and I picked for you.
Did you hear Jimmy when we went on Jimmy's show? He thought that I was going bald because I was wearing those headbands like I was Axl Rose.
Did you know that hurt him so bad?
I didn't even know he said that.
Jimmy was so excited. Jimmy thought it was happening to him. What happened to Jimmy was happening to Tom, and Jimmy was so happy. I thought he was going to start dancing in his own studio.
Did you wear a headband there?
No. I've stopped wearing them because you guys
Because-
clown me so much.
We know.
And I've been cutting my hair shorter.
Yeah,
because
like
that's
a military man, like a patriot. I'm glad he finally got a patriot's haircut.
That's why I wear the damn headbands, is because when I get home, you see my hair, Sam.
Yeah.
I can't comb my hair. I show up at these events and it's horrible.
Finally,
he's
you
in his
admit it.
40s and he
Why
can't
don't
comb
you
his
have
hair.
your wife comb your hair like she does the boys?
No.
You just get in line. You're the first one. Tommy's
I
the
don't
second
think they
one.
can comb their hair either because they're just
No,
about
that's
as a
what I'm
mess.
saying. Get Crystal to comb your hair, dude. Oh, he took a long drink like he's gonna beat me up. I'm getting closer. He's gonna punch me in the face this week. I'm getting this close to him
I
punching me
heard
in the
that
face.
gulp too. Like
Yeah,
that was
it was a mean gulp.
I can comb my hair. It just doesn't stay because I get to the events and I'm stressed out running my fingers.
That's your fault.
Well, you gotta stop doing that.
Well, I can't stop.
We're gonna put mittens on your hand like a baby.
It's,
Those little, yeah, we had to do that for Maisie because she'd scratch her face.
and then I don't bring a comb because what am I?
A greaser? What are you, Fonzie? Fonzie.
You are turning into an old pop. You might as well embrace the comb.
Why don't you just buzz
Ooh,
cut
I'm gonna
it?
get you one of those like switchblade combs.
I had a switchblade comb. Why don't you just buzz cut it? That way you don't have to comb it.
But
Then it'll look straight up like a skinhead.
No, he'll look like the villain. He'll look like Sid from Toy Story. Let's get a Sid. Can you get the Sid?
Kenny Samsel's here.
Hey.
How you doing, Kenny?
I know LeBron wears the headband when he plays because his hairline's like.
Yeah.
Well, he did the surgery though.
Don't push my
did
edge
he?
back,
Oh
dog.
yeah, now he's got a full.
Yeah.
You got a normal
Hairline
hairline.
now.
He pushed his edge to his nose. Like, how does that happen? Millions of dollars.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
I wonder why he didn't get that before, because then once you can tell, like Steve Carell.
Ego fight. You had an ego fight.
It's like Steve Carell got it done like right at the cusp.
He did it
Like,
right.
he shouldn't have done the first season of The Office before he got it done.
He
but,
also used a
that's
lot of
his only
LA
talent.
Looks gel. So he was like a wet boy.
But I think
in
that
the
was
first-
intentional though, because the
think
first
so?
season they wanted him to be a lot more swarmy, so I think they wanted that slicked back look.
Yeah, with
him.
where he's losing his hair, the slick back look.
He did a good job with it, though. See, I think LeBron probably has that, like, ultra superstar mega athlete ego, and he balanced with it, and he had to rectify it in his brain a little bit. I bet you he struggled with, like, oh, who cares? I'll just be me. I'm LeBron.
Yeah,
and then
I'm an
he was
athlete.
like, nah, I
Yeah.
got to get it done.
Well, I
And I
know-
think he struggled with it more than
Yeah.
Steve. Steve was just like, I'm in.
Do you think the internet bullied LeBron into
Well,
that makes
so
me
no
laugh.
one really saw the movie, but in Space Jam, or not Space Jam 2, in the remake of House Party, where the two kids break into or are working at his house, he has a hologram that gives him like self-motivational, like, hey, you know, you are the best, you are whatever. Your hairline is in no way, you know, looking embarrassing. Like he pokes fun at it, that like as if he's like trying to pump himself up, saying, no, your hairline is totally not bad.
No, well, he was trying to take the power away.
Yeah, he
and I
was.
won't let
Yeah,
him
he
do
was.
it because
that's how we know we got you.
yeah, because
If
you
you
ended
made a
up
joke about it, we know it bothers you a lot.
because if you never did anything about it, then then you were true.
Ultimate confidence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
ultimate confidence. You made a joke about it.
Yeah.
Who cares? But because you did something about it, we know that it hurt your feelings.
That's why you can't.
right?
That's why you
Why
can't
else
make
would
fun
you
of
do it?
Jules' teeth. You can't make fun of Jules' teeth. Why? Never got them fixed. If you
Yeah.
look at Jules'
Yeah.
teeth, there's the same way.
I
You're
like
like
that about
Still
her.
not
"Damn it."
fixed.
Still not
No.
fixed. You
All
look
right.
at them, same teeth.
But they're not that bad. You know, they're a little.
They're snaggly.
janky.
I kind of like them. I kind of like them.
They're a bit snaggly.
Like I feel like it makes her like it brings her down to my level, right?
Although I will say she did one of those Comedy Central roasts, and she's actually hilarious. Like she's low key.
Really?
Like,
Somebody
really
write
funny.
that for her, Kenny.
Probably.
You want me to believe that Jules
Well,
has been
she-
hiding her? Like
Okay.
she's the real Chappelle.
But still, her delivery was awesome. Like she got up there and she had the guitar.
she has a good personality.
Yeah, and
for
she was
sure.
doing the thing where she's playing the guitar and like she wasn't singing along, but she's just playing the guitar, do an insult, back to playing the guitar, one more insult. It was the delivery was just very well done.
Yeah, and that's hard to do with those roasts. You know, like if you are a singer-songwriter and then you also have comedic timing, pretty impressive. So, Kenny, what have you been up to since the last time we talked to you?
Yeah, doing. I did a corporate show down in Miami, and it was for a bunch of travel agents. And I know that seems weird. It's like, why are travel agents in existence? But this was actually for travel agents that cater to like super luxury clientele. So the
Okay.
people that are like, hey, I want to do a vacation in the Swiss Alps for 2 weeks, and I want to be able to have my own chalet and all that stuff. Someone needs to organize that for them because these are like busy business people that need to do it. So that was the organization that we did. So we were actually
How many of, like, it seems like couldn't be that many travel agents for the, the rich and the famous.
So there were a few hundred people there, but it wasn't all just travel agents. It was travel agents plus there were suppliers. So the people that are providing those luxury cruises or the luxury hotels and chalets and stuff. So they were all there. It was at a very fancy hotel in Miami, the Kimpton, which is the brand that owns the Grand Bohemian here. However, they had
we heard about that
Yeah, I
place.
heard that's not that fancy,
my God.
right?
Turn off the. Oh my God, they're doing all of the. It's so loud.
Well, in line with it, apparently there was a snafu when everyone was checking in. They had a sewage pipe burst,
Oh, God.
and the sewage pipe on the very top flooded 2 of the elevators with just doo-doo water.
elevator.
Oh man.
So it completely shut down 2 of the elevators. The lobby was just stank. And
How does
so,
that happen?
Exactly. And then you have all these luxury people that are like waiting in line like Black Friday just to go
Luxury
up 2
people.
elevators to their rooms.
It smells like caca in here.
Pretty much.
It smells like feces.
Well,
oh my stars.
And they have like a
Who caca'd?
like a 5-star Michelin rated sushi restaurant like in the hotel, but anyone who ate there just smelling that doo-doo water the entire time.
Yeah. Sometimes sushi does smell like doo-doo too. Sometimes. Like
That's
it's got
not
a
good.
weird smell to it.
How the hell did the Michelin tire company did it get like for? I know that
It's
the start of it was like how much wear on your tire is it worth to go see the restaurant? You know the backstory of that.
Yeah. Traveling to go to dinner.
And they put out travel guides.
Yeah.
And then but it's still in
Yeah.
existence.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
crazy.
And in a lot of ways, it'll make or break a restaurant too. You know,
Yeah.
like getting a nod in this town. I mean, you see the different chefs that fall over each other just to get an honorable mention of like a quickie.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you've got different people that are just be like, look, we're just a little ramen house and we just want an honorable mention, like so we can get that much money.
yeah,
I don't want anybody having to dictate that. Man, that's a lot of power, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know anybody personally who's ever thought to themselves to look up the rating of a restaurant.
Oh, I always
before
look
they-
up the rating
Really?
of a restaurant before I go.
Well, I mean, I'm not like a Yelp rating. I'm talking about like a Michelin rating of a fancy restaurant. Like that makes it
like
different.
if it's a fancy restaurant and I know it's got a certain level of stars, there's some restaurants that are just because of that.
It might sway you too. Like the only reason you hear about it is because it has Michelin stars, and that's gonna make you want to go there.
Yeah, but you're not like, I wouldn't put you in the category of as like a foodie. Like you're way far out of that.
Yeah, I'll never care about fine dining.
Yeah, I'm not even in there because I got a kid. But like, I think probably before kids, me and Andrea really enjoyed going to like, you know, upscale restaurants and giving it a go, seeing what the hubbub's about, trying something crazy, you know.
So after the doo-doo spill, did they...
It smells like P.F. Chang's in here. What happened?
EJ walked in and I don't know what happened.
What did he bring? It smells like P.F. Chang's in here.
And what's funny, I'm here for like another 20 minutes, so he's just gonna sit out there
He
with
wasn't
like
even
cold
supposed to be here
food.
till 1.
I know, yeah. He
Did
brought
EJ just bring a
cold food.
smorgasbord to eat on our couch?
He brought a big stinky bag of Burger King.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, it is Burger King.
Yeah, he stunk up the whole place.
Whole house smells. Whole house. The whole studio smells.
Those pepper chicken fingers? What is
Jesus
that?
Christ.
Why does it smell like P.F. Chang's though?
It does smell
If it's
like
supposed to be Burger King.
Tell me that doesn't
It's
smell
all
like
the
P.F.
same.
Chang's.
BK Chang's.
I can smell the sodium in the air. The MSG is burning my eyes.
Yeah, it's all fat and sugar. Smells the same.
BK Chang sounds like those
BK Chang.
auto-generated names that Madden comes up with.
So, what did you do over there, Kenny?
It was a giant conference for them, so I was there producing like their main session of keynote speakers and people presenting like the latest luxury wares and all that stuff. Like the New Zealand Tourism Board was there trying to get people to promote New Zealand more for luxury travel and stuff.
Gotcha. So basically, a bunch of businesses are trying to promote to these high-end travel agents, like, hey, convince your clients to come visit New Zealand.
I will say the evening dinner session was supported by the Dominican Republic Tourism Board, and they had the big booty skinny girls with
pervert,
the sparkly dresses.
The pervert details.
And they were coming in. They're like, ladies and gentlemen.
I love a flat-chested big ass. I like that.
And they did a whole thing. It's like, welcome the Dominican Republic Tourism Board, and then like these girls come in all shimmying and everything, looking like birds.
That's where we got to get some monies from the tourism boards because
I was gonna say at our beer fest we need more flat-chested big ass women.
Like a lot of times there's so much money on the table with like grants and tourism board money, and you just got to get in good with those organizations.
Visit Clearwater money, holy smokes, they'll just stroke checks like crazy.
Yeah, because the person in charge of it, it's not their money. They don't care. They're just writing the money, a bunch of taxpayers' money. Who's out there?
No,
it's Burn Pest.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's showing up today unannounced. It's fine.
Well, we're entering the holidays. Yeah, people got to start, get to work. Let's get to work around here.
Yeah. Speaking of showing up unannounced, I got a story to tell you guys about. I know a couple of sessions ago, or sessions. Wow. Couple of
do you use us as therapy? Is that what we are to you now? You come here and you tell all your pervert sins
stories,
and then we judge you, and then you somehow rectify them. You're able to reconcile these in your brain.
I'm able to sleep better at night.
Okay,
after
fair
this.
enough.
Every once in a while, I come in and I tell you guys like just a fascinating story. I talked about Balloon Fest a while ago.
I enjoyed that.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one I want to talk about. Man, this really does not help the pervert part. Dr. Love. You guys ever heard about the scammer Dr. Love?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the song by Kiss.
No.
Call me Dr. Love.
The teenager that opened up a bunch of fake
so
medical facilities.
Tom's gonna love this because it's the ability to just completely scam your way with no checks or balances. So,
all right, yeah.
All right, so this kid, his name is Malachi Love, and he was
Wait a minute, just like the wolf you befriended. There's another Tom tie in here. Tom befriended a wolf named Malachi back when he was a young man.
So he was born in 1997. And he wanted to become a doctor his whole life. In 2015, when he was 17, he got arrested because he went to a hospital and he was wearing a lab coat and a stethoscope, and he's just roaming the halls.
All right.
Now, he was questioned by police. He claimed he was, I'm shadowing a physician. People are supposed to know I'm supposed to be here. Because he was a minor.
Is this where you showcase one of your favorite pervert? Is this your pervert of the week?
No.
Okay, I was just making sure. I thought you were doing a new bit. Because I was
going to say. What we should call the pervert of the week.
Yeah. Can you write that down, Sam? I think we fleshed it out. Thank you, Tom.
Oh. Well, because he was a minor, basically they're like, okay, he was just trespassing. There was no actual crime. He's just roaming around around the halls pretending to be a doctor, but he didn't actually do anything. He just had a stethoscope and a lab coat.
Yeah.
And his mom was like, "Oh, he just has a mental illness. He's just not, taking medicine for it, so he shouldn't be here."
Yeah.
Slap
That's
on
what
him.
my mom used to say.
So later on in 2015, he actually gets accused for spending 3 weeks working at a clinic without a license. It was an addiction recovery clinic.
But what did he do?
Okay.
Did he save some people's lives?
So, the reason no one suspected anything is he convinced the staff. He said, "Hey, I have a PhD. I'm actually 28 years old. I'm not 18." His birth certificate, they're like, "Oh, I am actually an immigrant," and they put the year that I arrived to the U.S. on the birth date.
This is
instead
what
of my
happened in
actual year.
Natalia Grace, by the way. You got to get these weirdo pervert kids. You got to make sure that their age is right.
So he says he was 28 and he had a fake PhD from Arizona State University. With that, he was able to convince the facility to give him a $70,000 a year program director position.
As a program
but he had a degree.
Program
But he
director.
had a degree from Arizona State. Was it a real degree?
No, it was not.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Brett Bushy
Nothing
has the
about this
same
guy
degree.
was real.
Yeah, because he was only 18. So like he wasn't some like kid genius
Maybe
or
he's
whatever.
Malachi Hauser or
So-
something,
And here's the thing: he was never actually arrested because he was a program director and he never actually diagnosed or treated anyone.
He was just
in the
a
program.
manager.
Correct.
Okay.
But he did claim he had a certificate from the American Association of Drugless Practitioners, basically allowing him to do alternative therapies and stuff.
All right.
And that is apparently certified. But the only reason he got it is because he lied that he had a PhD. And
but he
just
still
got the
had
certificate.
it. And,
but-
I think possession is 9/10 of the law.
Also, if you got a bunch of hot stones and little needles and things
I love a hot stone.
some sort of ointments and water that remembers the chemicals that were in it but
Yeah,
are not anymore.
homeopathic.
All that, I'm fine with anybody doing that.
Yeah.
Yep.
People do it all the time. I
Yeah.
see them driving all around like noni juice, hot stones, tiny needles.
I don't think you need any sort of
You're fine.
actual training.
This guy's
Yeah. because
So,
it's all the same.
Now,
nonsense.
according to some claims, he was performing some massage therapy and physical
He
therapy
was
and
doing
stuff.
physical exams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well, I mean, at some point you just get so horny, you gotta get the you gotta get
well,
the people
what-
naked.
Was it inappropriate, or was he actually trying to do
Yeah.
a massage? Because then because if
Yeah.
it was just a bad massage from an unlicensed person,
Yeah,
it's fine again.
His intent was
But
to
it-
save your cancer,
but
like,
if
to
he-
fix it.
But if he's doing the old where he goes
Yeah.
to the butt and he
Yeah.
starts
He's like, your problem is
he starts
you're-
moving it to the side.
Yeah.
You see it.
Moving it to the
Yeah,
side.
Yeah.
if
the
he's
cheeks.
spreading it.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
he's
yeah,
spreading
yeah.
it.
I've seen videos. If he's doing that, then it's like this guy's a
Yeah,
horrible.
this guy's a pervert like Kenny.
The confusion on Sam's face
sexual
when you
rapist.
were doing the motions of moving it to the side.
No, he was
You're,
going.
you're meeting it to the
yeah,
side.
you're like, it's called like folding the
Yeah,
pizza.
yeah.
Folding the pizza.
So
Sorry.
late in 2016, he actually gets really ballsy. He gets his own LLC called the New Birth and New Life Medical
Wait,
Center.
we did it. We have our own LLC.
T&D Medical.
Yeah, we're, exactly. That's us. I'm gonna start spreading
We
it.
just got more paperwork today.
Oh,
We
man.
did.
no.
Hold on, where is it? We got 3.
Oh.
We got 3. Okay, this is. I have
not
to give
joking.
everybody the update. I have to give everybody the update. Before Tom called Truist, we had one account we can't access that was mislabeled T&D Medical. Now that Tom has contacted Truist, all of our accounts are now T&D Medical. All 3 accounts
Yeah.
have now been changed.
I like how you tried
not
to fix one
not
account
joking.
that was mistaken, and now all
they're
3
in the other room.
accounts.
They're in the other
Show
room.
Kenny the
I'll go get
paperwork.
I'm
Oh,
going
no.
Just so you think we're like, I didn't even tell you guys this.
Oh,
the lady
great.
on the phone is like, I need to talk to someone from TD Medical. and then I was like,
That doesn't exist.
I was like,
Hold on, I'll get Dr. Love.
What do they say at the top?
I'm not joking. I
Kenny, what are the? That's every account we own. Those are. Don't show the front of it, but that's every
Yeah,
account we own. That's
T&D
every business
Medical.
account we have. What does it say?
It says, "Hello, T&D Medical
yeah, every
LLC."
account has been changed to T&D Medical.
Yeah.
We're
I-
locked out of every account we have.
I'm not joking. I almost was like, hold on.
I'll put Dr.
Hello,
Daniel.
Dr. Van.
No, he has a phone.
Hello.
Hello,
this is
Dr. Daniel.
No, I was gonna go like, should I go chic?
I'll give him the sheet.
because it sounds like the Sheik owns T&D Medical. So I was like, maybe I'll go Sheik. And
I don't
then
know.
I'm like, how?
No, just be like, this is Dr. T. Would you like me to get Dr. D?
Like I don't know how a banking institution can be this bad. They're Truist. If anyone works for Truist and it has any power, please email me.
They told me to go back. To go back to
nobody
the bank.
knows what's happening. Nobody knows how to nobody knows who's in charge.
Can you just tag them on social media and then
but Dom doesn't want me to do that because he thinks it's too aggressive. I go Truist. I go, what the hell, Truist?
No, just do @Truist and then just a link to we're clowning you in front of thousands on the air.
They don't
and then
know.
They
don't
don't
care.
care.
They don't
Nobody
care.
cares.
Nobody
Kenny,
cares.
what I've realized is giant corporations. There's no one in charge.
There's
There's
no
no
one there.
humans. There's no humans.
No.
Yeah.
It's a computer and a business, and then a bunch of humans that work for the computer. We're getting close to Terminator 2 at this point, because no one. They're just like, I can't do it. Like,
You know
I
what's
don't know
worse
what's
than
happening.
AI? You know what's
There's no
worse than
boss.
AI? Lazy humans. It's worse than AI. If nobody does their job, then we need AI because there's nobody in charge. There's no one to fix our account.
They're doing their job for the robot in charge. Who's
Yeah,
the
that's who
giant,
pay their bills. Yeah.
The bank and the all the software, that's the business. But there's all the humans are like, listen, this is
I'll
what
take those back.
this is.
And by the way,
nothing we could do.
EJ left, but he left the Burger King here.
He left?
I think he forgot he left the Burger King. By the way, that's the only time he's ever left Burger King. I'm sorry. It's mean. T&D Medical, all 3 accounts.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
That's fine.
I don't even know what we do.
It's fine. We're just gonna be T&D Medical now. That's
All right.
that's the easiest thing, and that's really the route
Okay.
I'm heading
Path of
towards.
least
Yeah,
resistance.
yeah.
There you go.
We are now
Start wearing scrubs.
T&D Medical. Okay.
It sounds cool. Like, it sounds more official.
More
Medical.
professional, yeah.
Like when I tell someone T&D Media, they're like, nah.
Yeah, everybody has a
What
media
kind of
company.
media?
Next, you're going to tell me you have a podcast.
Yeah. And, but medical, now we
You know
got
what's
something.
funny? Now that you mention it, it does make me mad when smaller podcasts than us go like, oh, yeah, we're like Billy Media. And I'm like, no. You're not media. We're media. And then I look in the mirror and I'm like, you're just like Billy.
Yeah.
Same thing.
But if we're
No
T&D
difference.
Medical, then now we're.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And
Am I Dr. Danny or am I Nurse Danny?
like we could start selling all those creams and then the water
Creams.
that remembers
Yes.
the chemicals because
Homeopathic.
yeah, all that
Yeah.
it's
It's all a scam.
you don't.
I mean, I know a doctor that could probably come in and vouch for you.
yeah.
Dr.
We
Love?
need
And
to
then
do-
CBD, we could just
We
guess
could do
CBD.
Hey, we got a
CBD.
hookup, by the way.
What's that new
We can
stuff?
make our own CBD.
Delta 9?
No, that new stuff that people are using to relax. Like, type in new pill that people use to relax. They're like, it's all over the place now. People are freaking out about it. It's like now mushrooms are old. And we've moved
okay.
on. Mushrooms are too old now.
Well, what is
It's like Oshaba Gang Tang or something. Like Oshoba. No, it's some weird thing. And everybody's taking it, and they're like, we got to give you, it's like Men's Health. Everybody's like, no, we got to give you the straight facts on this. It's like the new Kratom.
what is it?
I don't
Is it
know.
Some plant?
It starts with an O.
I like when they find a plant from the Amazon. They're like, we found a new plant.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
like, a new plant?
Yeah. Is it Ashwega? It may be, but it's some new. It either starts with an A or an O, and it's this new thing that everybody's using to like relax, and like athletes are taking it, and everybody's like, whoa,
Or
whoa.
Phenadrine?
No, I don't think
No?
that's it.
I need to relax.
It's the one that Kupo J put in the chat room, I believe.
All right.
It's in the chat room, but yeah.
Yeah, can we sell that?
Yeah, we can sell
T&D
anything
Medical.
now. We
All
can
right.
sell anything.
Ashwagandha.
Yeah, ashwagandha. I think that's it.
Tony, if you're listening to this, which no way you are, buy tndmedical.com.
Yeah. We need
Ashwagandha is a plant,
Yeah, this is. I'm telling you, this is the new mushroom.
also known as winter cherry, an evergreen shrub.
I
Let's
hope that
see.
if you guys turn into T&D Medical, that people will then end up Google mapping and thinking that this is a clinic, and you're just going to get random
Oh, well,
people
we'll see
walking
patients.
in.
Oh, I'll take patients. I'll be the first thing you gotta do is take all your clothes off and sit on the big
No,
red couch.
come on.
What do you mean?
No,
How am I gonna diagnose their problem if they're not disrobed?
No, we'll give them the shashuba or whatever. and
Let me ask you a serious
and then
question.
the hot
I think
cups.
the hot cups.
I've
You
seen
can't
that.
just use any cups. You need specialty cups.
N-
You'll be in there putting Dixie cups in the back. They're melting. You warm them in the
Same thing.
microwave.
It does the same.
Do you, when you go to the doctor, do you sit on the table with the paper or do you sit in the chair?
Well, my doctor only has his chair and then the table, so I'm forced to sit on the table.
Oh, like a child, like a little boy,
and then I sit on
and
the
you
paper.
dangle
With
your
your feet dangling.
Yeah, I never do that. I always sit in the chair like a patriot.
But I pull my ass out.
Ew.
What? You put bare ass on the paper?
Yeah, on the paper. Yeah,
Yeah. So you get like a sweat stain with a crack in it.
Because the paper's there.
For your bare ass.
Like I pay $90 to get my Adderall, and
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to take the money any way I
So
can.
you put a greasy ass
on the
stain
paper.
Yeah.
I'm like, so they have to change the paper when I leave.
They change it no matter what because it gets
Yeah.
crinkled.
No, I don't think they change it.
Yeah, they do.
Unless
When it
I
gets
put my
They
crinkled.
ass.
should.
No,
No,
when
'cause
it gets
it's on that
crinkled.
roll. It's
Yeah.
like on the roll, so they slide the
Yeah.
roll down
No,
and
they don't
tear
change
it off.
it. My doctor doesn't change
Oh
it.
my
Gross.
God! They
It's
don't
the
change the
same-
paper.
No, because most people just sit in there with their jeans. So you're like, there's no reason to change
I don't
it.
do that. I sit on the chair or I stand until the doctor comes in.
See,
I don't
I want
sit on,
them
I
even-
don't sit on the table because that's what babies do.
It's so.
If she asks me to get on the table, I'll get on the table, and then she can like examine me. But I don't do. I stand or sit in the chair. I am an
all right,
American.
maybe I shouldn't say this, but I will.
Yeah,
Every
no.
time I go to the doctor, right? I for my Adderall. That's the only reason I go.
Yeah.
For my drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
We know.
There's
you
no
don't
real
ever
reason.
try to get actual help.
I go in there. I was like, I don't want to tell them about all the other things.
Uh-huh.
Your hands concern me a little bit. You can't even hold a cup.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So I go in there, and then it's so quiet that like the doctor, I think it's my door opening. I'm like, oh, and then it's the other door next to me.
Oh, and you hear the
And
whole
I hear
conversation.
the whole
I
thing.
listen to all of it.
And then I listen to the other private
yeah.
information.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm like,
Yes.
I feel like saying like,
I
banging
can
on-
hear you.
Yeah.
Like I can hear you.
You have HPV.
hemorrhoids.
You have HPV. I hear it.
Yeah. Like, and then I'm like, well, how private are like
Yeah.
the whole HIPAA laws and
I
stuff?
know.
like,
I heard a young girl get the HPV vaccine talked to her by the doctor.
Sorry.
I've heard that.
Sorry,
That was
Kenny.
at the urologist.
Goof.
What else you got?
Then doctors love that when they come in for you and you go like, "Hey, good job with that with the lady next door. You have a good bedside manner." They love that.
So more about this Dr. Love kid because the story gets crazier. So in 2016, he gets the LLC. He actually convinces an investor to give him $10,000 to get his own office. So he actually like
This guy's a great scam artist.
Yeah, he gets his own office. The clinic has a website claiming to provide holistic and family planning and all that care. Local journalists try to do some gotcha journalism, and they notice it says like Dr. Malachi Love, and then there's like a piece of paper taped over where it says MD. So I think he's trying to skirt the system, be like, oh no, I'm not saying I'm a medical doctor. See, there's tape over the MD part.
All right.
His claim is that, no, I'm not an MD, I'm an ND for neuropathic doctor. So that's what allows me. And it's just a typo. I listen, I've been trying to email people. I've been trying to get the wall fixed. He's just
T&D
totally.
medical, yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to lie the whole
I
thing.
love a good complicated excuse.
Who was Leonardo DiCaprio played the guy that pretended to be
Catch
a
Me If You
pilot?
Can.
Catch Me If You Can, like, and that was a famous. And there's like a handful of famous.
Wasn't Tom
con
Hanks in that
artists.
movie?
Yeah.
How come
yeah.
always everybody forgets Tom was in that movie?
Well, he was the detective trying
Yeah.
to catch
Like,
you know,
antagonist.
But so in like a handful of these stories come up every once in a while, and you're like, how does it happen? But to me, it makes perfect sense because all of society is just trying to get through their day. And we don't want to put that much effort into anything. And we're not out there to solve any sort of mysteries, or we're just trying to do our work, go
Just
home.
waste time until Thanksgiving, like
Yeah.
we're doing right now with Kenny.
With our families, we're all here to get out of here. We're half doped up on whatever anxiety medication
Yeah.
and THC and alcohol and drugs
Yeah,
or
all
whatever.
of them.
And then so we're all kind of out of it, just wandering around looking at our phones. And then you get a super confident con artist that comes in here, like,
Yep.
it says he's a doctor or whatever. That you're just like, oh, I believe.
Well,
You're
so-
like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to start researching if this
Yeah.
guy really went to college or his degree or whatever. Like,
When's
Well-
the last time you were scammed horribly?
The FOP sticker.
yeah.
Oh.
But
the
usually-
guy
I think
was
right now
confident.
with Truist, he's being scammed.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's no fixing that.
I've never seen anything as elaborate as this.
Well, I sent Dan a clip so you can kind of get a feel. It's like 10 seconds of how he talks,
Yeah.
so you can kind of like listen and see like the type of persuasion he is.
Here is
See if this reminds you of someone.
yeah. Here's a little bit of
Oh, man.
Here's a little Dr. Love. Here we go.
sorry, COVID from our
I've
events.
done
Oh,
a
great.
lot of courses in institutions, locally and some non-locally in alternative medicine. I've attended many conventions and conferences and
Well, that was different than I thought.
Yeah.
But he had the whole, it's like, well, I've taken courses, I've attended conventions. This is...
That doesn't make you a doctor.
He sounds very young.
He
I don't-
looks very.
yeah,
he
I
is
don't-
well,
young.
I don't
because he
think
was
I would-
18.
yeah,
he
I
was
don't-
18 when he did that interview.
I
because
don't think I would buy any of this. I'd be like, you're way too young.
All right.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
taking advantage of a lot of elderly
So-
people. It was really
So here's the
bad.
thing.
I thought he looked older than
No,
Oh, he's
he
got a
looked
baby
like a baby.
face.
Yeah.
The Florida Department of Health tried to do a sting operation. So they sent someone saying, oh, I have a sore throat, whatever. And he treated him. And he tried to do the loophole. It's like, oh, no. I never diagnosed anything. I never prescribed anything. So I'm not impersonating a doctor. But he clearly was, by the sheer fact that he was still seeing them and like doing
Well, as
exams
a friend,
and stuff.
you idiot. He was seeing
So-
him as a friend.
So he was arrested. When they arrested him, they found out that he had 7 counts of grand theft and forgery because he had stolen money from one of his patients and filtered it to his own bank account.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you
There it
can't
is.
do that. That's
And
blatant.
this-
you got to
this
do the.
is-
You got to do all the little scams.
This is where it goes from like, oh, he's a good scammer, and then it just all crashes downhill. He posted bail, and then while he was awaiting trial, he gets arrested in Virginia because he was trying to falsify getting a $35,000 loan, saying he was a doctor and he wanted to buy a Jaguar car. So he gets arrested in Virginia for doing that. Spends
Why
a year.
Jaguar?
Spends a year in jail in Virginia, and then he gets extradited to Florida, and he pled guilty, and he was sentenced to 3.5 years in a Mexican security prison in 2018. He only serves like a year or so. And then when he asked, like, hey, why did you do what you did? Because he got released from prison. He's a huge news story. It's like, hey, I always wanted to be a doctor. I never had the means to go to medical school, and I just wanted to help people. So, like, you think, oh, okay, he's got, really
I like
good
this
intentions.
when people are like, you know what? I don't need the education. I'm just going to be a doctor. There was a kid that was obsessed with stealing buses for a while. I think it was in Central Florida. And this kid wanted to be a bus driver, but I guess he didn't think that he could just go through the proper ways to do it. So
Yeah.
he would, and I think he's done it like 5 times. He's stolen like a bus. And he's addicted to stealing the bus. And you know what? Don't let anything stop you from your dreams, right?
Well, so
Just keep doing it.
You could become a bus driver.
I know,
That's a
but
lot
it is
easier than
weird
a
that this
doctor.
kid decides
Yeah.
he's like, no, I'm just going to
Yeah,
steal
yeah.
buses. I'm obsessed.
Well, then to me, it's like, well, you like stealing, not so much of the bus driving
It's
part.
more exciting when you steal it, right?
Yeah. Well, January 2020, he gets a job at like a freight shipping company down in South Florida.
Oh, and then he's like one of those guys that was like, in my country, I was doctor.
I mean, I'm sure he probably
You know?
told
Like
that.
when you're
but
working at the shipping company,
so he gets a job there, and he gets arrested because he ends up diverting $10,000 of payments that were supposed to go to the company into his own bank accounts.
No,
So he's currently serving 2 years because of COVID. He wasn't able to get trial and
This
everything.
is old school.
So-
This is old school scam, man.
2022, he finally went to jail, and he's sentenced to 2 years. He's currently 26 years old, and by the time he's released, he will have been the age he claimed he was when he started the whole doctor
And
ordeal.
think of all the experience he has now.
So,
You know what I mean? Like to not make those. I mean,
He's not scheduled to be released next year, but I would be very fascinated to see if he tries
Oh,
becoming
he'll
a
do it.
doctor
He'll do
again
it
and scamming again.
what if somebody
Every
got
time he gets out, he tries to open up a new facility.
What if somebody got a hold of him and said, "Hey, I'm going to sponsor you to do this the right way. I'll pay you
He
your
won't do
way
it.
through medical school."
He doesn't want to do the actual work
Of
to
course.
be a doctor.
Yeah, he would have already tried.
like if you look around your life day to day, it's easy to steal and con people. It's just our basic morals as people keep us from
Yeah,
doing that.
Hold it together.
But then when
Not
someone
if you're a pervert.
Well,
no morals.
if someone like let's say has none of that and then can't like they look around, they're like, wait a minute, no one's checking what college I went. Again,
Yeah.
society's
it's
basically
right
lazy
for the picking. Yeah.
and like I could write a check and people will give me the car or whatever just based on this check. And it's like, well, if you don't have any money behind that, it's fraud. And there's like, well, that's, I don't care about that. Like,
Yeah.
all I care about is getting the car. And they're just using the system. The system is flawed and built upon honesty.
Sure.
And then if you have, you find these people that don't care about honesty and and willing to just break the law wherever they can, and this is what happens.
The
But
worst.
that's when heroes like Sam come in who are overly skeptical about everything. And they're the ones that bust these scammers.
I remember there was a lady here in Orlando, I believe. This is like I'm going to say like probably 4 years before even the pandemic. And this lady was, and I think a lot of people were doing this on like sort of like what this guy was doing, but this was on like a major level where they were fabricating that they could perform Botox injections or small like injectable cosmetic surgeries.
Yeah.
And you would have a lot of people that if they could get their hands on the drug, they would just like claim that they could do it. And then they'd have these Botox parties and they end up hurting or like, you know, injuring people pretty bad.
Paralyzing people's
Yeah,
faces.
because they don't know what the hell they're doing, you know? I mean, but that was like, I remember that was like there was like one in every state. You know, it was like an epidemic of people that were just like, yep, we can do it.
You know, I think a lot of people are like, I'm like this, where I'm just trusting people for the most part because I'm too lazy to do any sort of research. So like,
well, no,
when
you
I got
do
my
research, but your priorities for where you put your research would be different. Like if you're going to research how to fix your dirt bike, you'll do it all day long. But you're not going to research the validity of your doctor's degree. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like you do research.
But one should be more important than the other.
But we all have our priorities wrong. All of us. Every single person listening to this right now, you could do a better job with your priorities. That's just being human.
Well, that's how a lot of people are able to defraud via charity. Like out in San Diego, you know how sometimes when you go to a sporting event, like the concession stands will be run by like, local Little League team or like, you know.
I don't like that.
Well, and they do that to get like a 10, 20% of the concession sales as part of their whatever.
I don't like it.
Out in San Diego at like San Diego State and their soccer team, there was basically two dudes that formed a fake charity saying that, we do.
There's a lot of those.
We do, but they were able to like convince the stadium people to let them run the concessions. And so all they did was just hire a bunch of, people to volunteer and saying, hey, you're helping out volunteering this charity. And then they would just get 20% of the money just sent to them directly. No charity at all. Like, because no one did any of the research. Right. They were just like, oh, okay, it seems like you're a charity. Let's go ahead and have you in.
That happens.
If you have the unique ability to be able to sleep at night with defrauding people like that, then you can make a lot of money for a long time because most of us can't even understand how people do that.
Wire differently.
You know, like you pretend to be. I mean, think about it.
Well, and that's on a smaller level. The people that like that one lady who faked, I have cancer, and she would shave her head, take a bunch of social media stuff, and then raise tens of thousands of dollars on Kickstarter.
I do find her a bit more worthy. I find her a bit more worthy. She did shave her head. That's at least worth $1 grand. At least $1 grand.
Yeah.
10 grand maybe not, but $1 grand. I mean, she was going. She went hard.
But then you have to know there's an end date. You have to know there's a whole thing where it's like you have to tell people.
Like the Gypsy Rose Blanchard thing, which she's about to get out too. But like how much money that mom got out of all those different charities, and it's insane. Because again, nobody did the research to see if any of it was actually valid.
Not even. Yeah.
Because people can't even comprehend someone
like,
doing that.
Why would you do that? Like to your own daughter.
Or like you're going to tell people you have cancer or fake something to people donate.
They
money.
built her a house. Like,
it's crazy.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That one, out of all of them, that one is like, you keep going back to it and you're like, how did this continue?
How did it go for that long?
How did this continue? And I think a lot of times it's very difficult for the human mind to accept the fact that it was always there in plain sight and no one noticed it.
Well, there is one, and this like the only quote unquote normal one. There was a high school offensive lineman like somewhere out west. And in order to just impress his friends, he just lied and said, like, oh, yeah, I'm getting scholarship opportunities. And that just started snowballing to a fact where, like, now local news media was like, oh, I can't believe you're getting these scholarships. And he actually held one of those, I'm going to pick what hat of the school I'm going to. None of those schools had offered him a scholarship at all. So, but he just went along with it.
Hold on. This is even better to me.
Yeah, he just went along with it because everyone kept pressuring him and, like, wanting to know more and being like, oh, this is great. And it's
that's how we got a medical facility.
Yeah, Tom's out there at Sports Authority. He's buying a Gators hat, a Florida State hat, a Miami hat.
Which one will I choose?
Ohio State. He's got the biggest 5 teams laid on the table.
The local media came. They set up this huge thing in his gymnasium. God. He picked the hat. Everyone's like cheering and applauding.
Oh my God, making me uncomfortable.
Well, you know what this reminds me of, and when Sam, told us about it a while ago, and they did a documentary about that football team that ended up playing on ESPN, and it was all fake. And
I was thinking about that.
And
because sometimes these things just happen.
Yeah, and they snowball.
And then how did it happen? Nobody checked. You mean nobody? Nobody. Why? Yeah. We don't know.
And you think media does any research whatsoever, you are sadly mistaken. When they were interviewing us, when every media outlet hit us up about Bob Saget.
Copy and paste.
It didn't even matter. We told them, we're not even the last people to interview them. They're like, we just have to do the story, sir. Please shut up.
It's fine. We know you killed Bob Saget. We're going to continue.
Just go along with, we're here to do the story, and we don't care what else, whether it's true or not doesn't matter.
Our narrative is he died from COVID, and you did it, so we're just gonna run with it.
So that big story, Karissa Thompson with the NFL Network or Amazon or whatever, the NFL, she on a podcast just admitted, hey, sometimes if I didn't get to talk to the coach at halftime, I would just make up what the coach told me.
Yeah, no,
and it was a lot of stuff.
By the way, Karissa Thompson. Woo! Come on.
But her justification was, I looked at the stats from the first half, so I just assumed what the coach would be thinking, we need to do better on third down. Well, they're not going to refute it because the third down stats show that they're not good.
Yeah.
So she's trying to justify the fact that she just straight up lied. Now, in the grand scheme of things, who gives a crap? It's, a halftime report. But it's hard to be like, well, you're now getting these promotions and advancements for being a legit journalist when you've straight up admitted that you lie about what you do.
I read the article with her, and then what I thought was equally laughable. When I read her, admitting that, I was like, first of all, I wouldn't have admitted that. I think everybody kind of knows that you got to do whatever you got to do to get the broadcast done. You don't need to talk about it. People don't like it when you get that dirty and gritty, especially at that level. When you're that
I don't know why she'd ever admit it.
Yeah, why admit it? But then the guys that were coming out and saying, this is horrible. She should be disgusted and disappointed in herself, and she should resign. Get out of here. You're insane.
I don't even know why they have sideline reporters anyway. I've never heard, no one's ever heard anything interesting from a sideline reporter.
The only exception, injury reports. If a player's injured, you can get the sideline
but a robot
reporter
can say that, right?
Well, but you need someone to find out that information. You know what I mean?
The robot does.
So
the robot's like Patrick Mahomes injured third quarter.
That's the only reason that I enjoy a sideline reporter is, are they gonna return to the game because they don't have a camera.
I enjoy Karissa no matter what. She's she's very important to Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, but it's always their return to the game is questionable. All right. Well,
every week, every player I have on my fantasy team is questionable until they go into the game.
Yeah. And guess what? Once they're hobbling and they show that sign or the shot of them walking down the empty hallway,
holding their helmet.
They're not coming back for the most part. Or if they do, it's going to be limited or as a distraction.
I'm very impressed at the blue pop-up tent because that thing opens up fast.
Yeah, it has to.
They sit down on that stretcher. Next thing you know, blue pop-up tent out of nowhere covers them up.
The sideline reporting thing is ridiculous in the fact that people even did get mad that she made it up because I was like, what are you mad that she made up?
Yeah.
That she made up that
she made up something coach, meaningless. Okay, great.
They want to establish the run in the second half and whatever they were. It doesn't even matter. None of it matters.
If you're looking at it from an honesty perspective, it opens up the door for, if she made this up, is she making up stuff when she's at a desk? When she's actually doing a reporting from a desk or hosting, is she making stuff up there?
Don't care.
It's all
I really don't.
The only thing that really matters is the stats. The coaches aren't going to ever tell you anything they're going to do for real because they're trying to win a game. So
even the interviews, don't even do the interviews.
They'll never say something, and then we've seen it before where they try to hide injuries as much as possible or try to
They did that with Burrow. They did that with Bijan. They've done it.
They're trying to get every single edge they can because they're all. This is the most highest pressure job. The NFL head coach is so what? Talking to them is pointless to begin with. I
agree. You don't even need it.
So
if you lied about it, I don't care because it wasn't needed. I wouldn't have admitted that I lied about it because I think it calls your own integrity into question. But you are your own woman, and you can say what you want to say, and I don't see any problem with it. And to all the people that were saying she should be fired now or should resign, I'm like, you're crazy.
I know we're wrapping up
She
here.
was just being honest. In fact, you should probably reward her for being more honest than you are about the stuff that you lied. You know you've lied about stuff.
It's the first step of them getting rid of sideline reporters.
Out of the corner of my eye, EJ apparently was here the whole time. And it looks like he has a wrapper in his hand. So But
he was pointing at you with a Whopper.
But that that implies that he intentionally got off camera so he wasn't seen on any other camera eating Burger King.
Yes, he doesn't want to.
Well, you don't want to bring a sack of Burger King.
You don't want to eat a sack of Burger King in front of our camera.
Well, put it on the lobby cam here for a second.
Put the lobby cam on.
The
slobby cam.
Okay, do we
move
the
God. How many drinks do you have out there?
Smokes.
My God, this guy's got 50 big gulps.
I like to just see his belly.
You just see his belly. You see Burger King and 5 big gulps.
Oh my God.
How many big? What are 2 of the big gulps for your thighs, and what's happening?
All right, Kenny. 2 Moves podcast.
TOOMOOFS. We had a little bit of a hiatus. Matt actually went to Istanbul, Turkey, because he got a procedure done, and I'll just leave it at that.
Oh
God.
Your
BBL.
Your co-host got a penis enlargement in Istanbul, Turkey, and you didn't lead with that?
He got the old plugs.
Oh, he got the LeBron.
Oh, did he?
That's what. Yeah. You got.
Do you guys openly talk about it, or is this going to hurt his feelings?
No, we can openly talk. We were just saving it for.
Okay, yeah. I'll listen to that one.
On the ride back from Turkey back to the States, everybody got bloodhead, blood towel on.
He says it was fine. It just feels like a bad sunburn on his head.
Welcome to the land of bloody turbans,
How
my
much
friend.
cheaper is it over there?
It's cheaper to fly there, get a hotel, and do the procedure than it is to do
but
just
how
the procedure
much?
here.
Am I saving
Thousands? No, you're saving thousands.
Thousands?
Yeah,
thousands.
but you gotta eat hummus. No, I don't know. I just being stupid.
I will say he said if he never has to go to Istanbul in his life, he's totally fine.
An interesting place to go
It
to.
is. That's a strange
get a
one.
medical procedure.
Hey, you can get this done, but you got to go to Beirut. All right. Okay. Well.
All right. We'll be right back.
All right. Good job. Thank you, Kenny.
Hey.
I needed you to wake me up. I've been asleep all morning. Where's that go, Sam?
Wednesday 1 and 2.
All right. And that's all we got there?
Yep.
Well, thanks for being here, Kenny.
Thank you guys. Hey, fuck you, Calvin Ridley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, because he's been sucking all year.
Oh, yeah, you hit him and Trevor Lawrence.
I know. Well, fucking. Let me say this. The justification, at least for Burrow over Lawrence, who would have ever known that Burrow would have just, like, injured his hand out for the season?
That's why they're getting in trouble for.
Yeah.
Leaving off the injury report because it was pre-existing.
But yeah, stupid Calvin Ridley, 2 touchdowns, 30 points.
He had a fantastic game.
God damn.
He played like old Calvin Ridley.
know.
Like, I was like, there he is. He's super talented.
Titans are garbage.
You look skinny, dude.
I don't know. I've been eating like shit lately.
All right.
But I think I still could beat Seth in a race.
Burger
All right, gentlemen, thank you guys so very much.
See you, Kenny. Thanks for being here, dude. Are we going to lunch now? Yeah. All right, it's lunchtime, guys. We'll see you a little bit later. We've got... Oh, wow. I'll eat one. I'll eat a half of one at least. We got a lot of fun stuff today. We got EJ, Nerd Jock, and then we got Ginger Minge. So we'll be doing all of that. See you, Kenny. Have a good Thanksgiving, man. All right, guys. We'll...